Alright guys, so I just wanted to weigh in on this whole YouTube revoking Google AdSense controversy that's going on. If I'm hiccuping, I'm sorry. I always seem to have like weird problems whenever I try to film videos. My apologies in advance. I'm kind of torn on this issue because one side of me is saying, oh, it's just that false bravado Google has where they, go and put on this false bravado front, and the community strikes back, and then YouTube backpedals a week later. Like what we saw back in July with the updated terms of service that were vague and kind of struck some people as nebulous and could be bent. What we saw with the YouTube Heroes program, which seemed to be YouTube, or should I say Google at this point, their way of trying to cater to the demands of the YouTube community, wanting more manned, and manned being more human-based, flag response teams instead of algorithms that tend to fuck people over. It's kind of sad when you have copyright disputes with classical artists that are supposed to be public domain. Or what we saw with the YouTube, I think it was later on in September, as well as the YouTube Heroes program, which seemed to only strike the fancy of the SJW type of people. But there was the other thing. I think they wanted people to stop swearing in their videos if they wanted AdSense. But I think the conspiracy theorists here on YouTube had it right all along. Now, I remember maybe 2 months at this point, maybe 3 months, making a video talking about how there was a subscription glitch and a dislikes glitch, and how I talked about how I lost like 17 subscribers overnight just to have them back the next morning. Well, I've been noticing issues like being unsubscribed from channels I swear I was subscribed to, and I know I would have never unsubscribed to, even if it was just the mobile version. My thumbs aren't that clumsy. I know what I'm doing. But I've noticed these kind of malevolent or malicious algorithms since at most the late spring. It started simple. I'd have videos that I knew I liked. I'm one of those people who goes back and looks at their liked videos playlists, and it wouldn't be there, and I'd have to go hunt down and find it. Now by the summer it got really weird. I thought it was just my phone glitching out, because I noticed it only happened on the mobile version. I go and I'd look, and it'd say a channel I watched, nearly daily, or near daily, I'd be unsubscribed to. And I know I would have never unsubscribed to that channel. I very rarely unsubscribe to channels. That's the big secret here. They really have to piss me off, or I really have to not be interested in what they do anymore to unsubscribe. And I think I've only done that maybe under 20 times since I've had this account. And remember, I've had this account for 4 years now. Didn't start making videos on it until my second year, or a year in with this account. But nevertheless, I don't often unsubscribe from people. But a lot of people, I guess, these conspiracy theorists, and I guess I should have heeded to their advice, because these are kind of first generation YouTubers who were saying this. People who've been around the block a couple times and back. They guessed it, they said, oh, they've been saying at least a month before that subscriber glitch, or 2 months maybe, since that subscriber glitch kind of got out of hand. They were saying, oh, I think it's just Google's way of trying to weed out the old content creators by artificially decreasing their views and subscribers to make it the appearance that they're not such a popular channel, so that these people will lose interest because they're not getting compensated financially, and have these corporate networks that they're already buddies with come in and take their place. Now, I think there's a difference here. It's hard for YouTube, it's hard for Google to kind of keep under control all these independent content creators. And I think, honestly, that's what has such a big draw in YouTube with the Gen Xers and the Millennials and the I generation, or Gen Zs or Ys, I can't remember. Because they're not on this corporate script. You look at Fox News or ABC or MSNBC, their views and their subscribers would be only on par with maybe a upper end of the less popular YouTube channel. And I mean like 10,000, 20,000 subscribers. Some of these news channels aren't even hitting the 50,000 threshold. But I think some of these other companies kind of have adapted, and they want to go make videos that they know people are going to watch. I'm sure IGN has a foothold in this. I'm sure GameSpot has a foothold in this. Several news outlets. Some of these other news outlets they'll invest in to try to make it seem like it's a third-hand source or something, or my apologies, a non-mainstream source that they'll go and use, but it will still be corporate as fuck. And I think Google hates the idea that they can't enforce these contracts on people. They can do it very, very, very vaguely. Oh, you can't get ads on these videos if you talk about Syria or Islam or something like that. And it's not strictly a non-politically charged educational video. But they hate the idea that these people do whatever they want. They'll say fuck it, or fuck this, or fuck that. They'll cuss like a sailor. They'll do outrageous things that something on a corporate level, you gotta keep your mouth shut for the most part. You gotta do what's on the script and nothing more. And certainly nothing less. And I think Google hates that because it makes it harder to control the content and the content creators. Now, as for, I'm seeing a lot of grassroots movements of people forming these makeshift alliances to tell Google to stop it. And I gotta say, I admire your activism, but I'm not so sure this is going to have a good outcome. Yeah, we might all have to move to a new platform. It might have to come down to that. But I'm thinking either these original content creators here on YouTube that are still relevant might not want to start over because money won't be in it initially, and they'll get in the game too late. I'm thinking they'll have separate types of standards set aside for these bigger gaming channels like PewDiePie or Markiplier or Jacksepticeye. But they'll be fucking mashed too eventually. Some fucking corporation that has money that Outlook account. Oh wow, that has money that would blow their fucking financial situation out of the water could probably, pay under the table. Hey, go fuck Jacksepticeye's channel, and we got this better idea, or we got this idea that will make you tons more money. Because it is evident now that places like YouTube are going to be the future of TV. It's been TV for me for like a fucking decade now. But I think we're at a point beyond no return. I think people might be overreacting a little bit. I think a lot of these people that are vocal will probably come back. But, yeah, if the money's not there, people are going to go. And I don't think Google's really going to take into consideration a band of 4,000 people that probably don't even crack 1 million subscribers. In fact, they could probably just go in and mass delete a few of these accounts from the bottom up and nobody would notice. My channel could be gone tomorrow and it'd probably take 2 months for somebody to realize. It's just the way it is. I'm not going to open up any secondary video accounts. I do have a Daily Motion, but I haven't used it in well over a year. I've heard people talk about VidMe. I might look into it. I might not. But it's just what it is. It's just one of these Google fuck-ups. I think it's going to be how it always is, and they're going to fucking backpedal, or they're going to act like it's non-existent in a few weeks anyway. So, that's my take on this AdSense controversy. That's all I really have to say about this. Until next time.